When I was about 12 or 13, I picked up my first book about near-death experiences. I can't even remember the title of the book now, but I remember it was by a woman, and there was one thing that stuck with me all these years, which was her description of what the afterlife is like. She wrote that the afterlife is like a space made of light where things emit light instead of simply reflecting light. And that image has stayed in my mind ever since. And years later, in my 30s, I discovered Dr. Eben Alexander's book called Proof of Heaven. That book moved me so deeply, I read it at least 3 or 4 different times and gave it to many friends as a gift. I even went to hear Dr. Alexander speak in Charlottesville, Virginia, and I was the first to stand and give him a standing ovation. I just was so moved by his story. And what draws me to these accounts is not just their beauty, but their consistency. Story after story, person after person, from all walks of life, describing landscapes of light, unconditional love, and timeless presence. The odds that so many people are making it up seem impossibly small to me. I've always felt it's important to remain open, to listen, even when stories don't fit our current understanding, because maybe they're pointing us to a truth that our science has not yet caught up with. Personally, I believe we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Consciousness embedded in a kind of very advanced virtual reality or simulation of some kind. We come here to Earth to learn, to give and receive love, to experiment with who we could become. But I don't believe this reality is all there is. And recently I came across a fellow YouTube channel called Coming Home that shares people's near-death experiences. So if you're curious, I encourage you to watch some of these videos and just listen. Hear the truths they're telling. Not to judge, but just to be open to possibilities. Because it's strange we're here to begin with, isn't it? We're here in bodies, hearts beating, and brains that work on a planet in a vast cosmos. Reality itself is already bizarre. Why wouldn't there be more bizarre, more weird, more magical? Be open to the weirdness of being alive. Because if anything is clear to me, it's that this is not the end of the story. There's more to existence than this realm.